Hello there guys, time for another quick review. This is of the Beyerdynamic T70 closed back Tesla headphone. This headphone was sent in by a customer for recabling, and one thing that might affect my... I heard it before it was recabled obviously, but I will say a silver cable does change the sound quite significantly, probably not to my liking, but the customer was happy with the result. That said, let's get into it. The physical parts, the headphone is built like pretty much all of Beyerdynamic's higher end headphones. At least the design is the same, as pretty much the same as the T770. Or DT770, except some of the parts are made of metal here. The fork holding the cup as well as the edge around here is made of aluminum. The rest is plastic, just like that one. The pads, I believe, are made of the same type of velour that Sennheiser uses for the HD800. At least it feels the same. This sort of weird thin material that has the surface of the inside of some rugged leather almost, but it's not. I believe it's velour. It feels a bit strange, but pretty nice and quite comfortable when you have them on your head. They're very light as well, as most of Beyerdynamic's headphones are, so you won't. When you've got them on, you barely notice that they're there. One thing though is that the cups aren't very deep. They have foam on the inside of the cups as well, so you will notice you're wearing them, but it's not uncomfortable because of the foam, so they will lightly touch your ear when you wear them. Apart from that, they are just a usual full-size headphone, very durable and so on. The original cable on these is one-sided. I've made it dual entry, simply because, well, it's a matter of principle, and it's a lot easier because you can't remove the old one without taking the headband off. These headphones have, as the name says, it has the Tesla technology that Beyerdynamic is very happy using, at least for the time being, though they've had some strange responses to it. Looking from a technical standpoint, this one, the T70, is actually the best headphone in the Tesla range, which you might say, what about the T1 and the T5P? Those are the most expensive ones, aren't they? So shouldn't they be the best ones? Well, that depends on what you want. And with that, let's move on to the sound of these. These are your typical German headphone, and what I mean by that is they have the same signature where they are a bit curved, a bit flat. If you look at the graph, up until about 1500 Hertz, and up till about there, they're mostly flat, but then they go crazy. Then the treble just goes upwards and spikes like crazy. A lot of German headphones do this, and the result of it is that it all sounds very, very neutral and very precise, and that elevated treble makes it feel as though there is a lot more detail than there actually is. With these headphones though, unlike a lot, there actually is a lot of detail. It's just, well, it's further expressed, making it easier to notice. And some people like it, some people find that it hurts their ears, and that's why a lot of... If you don't like things like the HD800, you won't like this. This is sort of the black sheep of the Tesla family, because what the Tesla family does compared to the normal ones is usually exactly the opposite of what you'd expect. From a driver with... For those of you who don't know the Tesla drivers, they're basically some drivers with extremely powerful magnets that measure at least 1 Tesla, which is, well, that's a lot. What you expect as a result of that is great control over the driver and thus very precise and detailed sound, which is exactly the opposite of what you're actually getting, especially with the T5P. That one is just all over the place. It may be due to the amplifiers that people use when they measure them, I can't say, but usually the result of these drivers is just a lot of resonance and pretty uncontrolled drivers, and well, it's just all over the place. And I had the T1 for a lot of time, but in the end, after hearing things like the HD800, I just couldn't stand it anymore, because you realize that it resonates a lot and that makes the whole thing a bit muddy, which is quite strange. I don't know why Beyerdynamic decided to make this their top headphone. It gives the sound a bit of warmth, and some people are into that. I'm not a big fan of it because it's at the cost of precision. That's where these come in. These are quite the opposite. These are very, very precise and very exact when it comes to the impulse response. They only make the sound they're supposed to, then they stop almost instantaneously, which the DT880 is actually the best at, but these are almost as good at it, and these are closed, which is an advantage in a lot of environments. What you'll generally find with these is, as I said, they will reproduce almost anything very, very precisely and very, very unforgivingly. They are pretty much the closed version of an HD800, so anything that is badly recorded or so will sound absolutely terrible on these, or at least you'll hear that it's recorded badly. But they're also a bit light sounding to a lot of people, which is why I wouldn't actually personally recommend a silver cable for them, because that makes them even lighter sounding. But it does bring out a lot of detail, but it may hurt your ears. So that's up to personal taste, I guess. I like the HD800 a lot, but these are a bit over the top for me. At least with this cable, they become so light that it's on the edge of being a problem. It's still an enjoyable headphone, I'd say. They have nice bass response, nice mids and so on, because they're pretty much flat in that area. But again, the treble is a bit much. So, would I recommend these, or at least to whom? Well, first off, they are 250 ohm, so they're not for all portable devices. You'd need a portable amplifier for that. If you don't have it, buy the T70P, which is the portable version. It's almost the same, just a bit different. But apart from that, would you use these? Well, if you're looking for a classic closed headphone, you might like them if you are into the German sound signature, which is extremely detailed and unforgiving, but being a closed headphone, it still goes low in the bass and has a nice slam to it. It's one of the best closed headphones I know, but at the same time also one of the ones that could be the most exhausting to listen to due to that treble. So if you know you like that sort of sound, again like the HD100 and so on, then these are for you. If you don't like that sharp detailed sound, if you for example like the LCD2 as your main headphone, then you won't like these. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Feel free to ask anything in the comments, and be sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you like more videos. I believe I'll have the good camera back again soon. Well, that's all for now. Lord Victor signing off. Bye.